Verstappen Sr. was used to having complete control over his son's career, having groomed him from an early age to be a future Formula One champion. While this may have been acceptable in Max's karting days in the previous series, it was no longer the case after he had risen to become Red Bull's prized asset in Formula One. But what exactly happened between Red Bull and Verstappen's family that Red Bull had to give a warning to Jos Verstappen, the father of the recent champion Max Verstappen? Curious to know? Hello Formula One fans, welcome back to another inspiring episode. In today's video, we'll discuss the real reason why Jos Verstappen was warned by Red Bull. So without any further ado, let's get straight into the topic. By now, we've all heard that Formula One's Dutch phenom Max Verstappen has won the 2021 Formula One World Championship, defeating his rival Lewis Hamilton in the final lap of the season's final race. Following his victory, images of Max's father, Jos Verstappen, sitting in the paddock and sharing an emotional moment with his son went viral, demonstrating how emotionally powerful he was. After winning the title, Max Verstappen spoke about how important his father has been in his climb to the top. He claimed it was a life mission he and his father had set for him when he was a child. His father threw everything he had at it and believed in him. When a person receives such encouragement, he can go all the way. Jos Verstappen, Max's father, is a Formula One veteran. He also completed in the top of motorsport for 8 seasons, but he never won a championship. Finally, he wanted his son to achieve what he couldn't, so he dragged Max into karting at the age of 4, which is one of the reasons Max is as brilliant as he is now. Max's former squad supervisor, Franz Toss, commended this training, saying, "I think one of the most essential things is that dedication his father Jos had. He began karting when he was 5 or 6 years old. That means Max had specialized training." When asked about him, Jos stated that Max was his life's dream project. Jos wants to be a champion with him. They have a common goal. Jos enjoyed his time with Max far more than his work. Jos truly did more for Max's career than for his own. Jos also had a staff that was tenacious and wanted his son to be the greatest of the best, so he worked hard from the start. Finally, Jos Verstappen believes that Max is the man to beat in qualifying and on the track. Now, Jos recalled an incident in an interview in which he revealed that Max was perhaps 8 or 9 years old when he went to the go-kart track, which was frigid in the winter. As a result, Jos let the vehicle run to warm up. Max caught cold after completing 10 laps. Regardless of that, Jos instructed his kid to warm up. But Max was still shivering. Jos, on the other hand, was used to being strict. Jos didn't care about Max catching cold and just asked Max to get behind the wheel. He was unconcerned since he wanted to test everything as he built engines and chassis. All Jos cared about at the time was getting a result. He desired to progress. Verstappen Sr. told CarNext at the end of the last season that he did the same thing in Formula 3 and it helped him. Jos used to hang over the wall, asking Max to hurry up. He assumed Max probably thought he was insane. Max, on the other hand, doesn't need this strict guidance right now. He's already been accustomed to it. It's already inside him. He understands how to train and qualify himself. He was still seeking that ideal lap at the start of his Formula 3 career. He has made significant progress in this area over his Formula 1 career. Max Verstappen owes his father a debt of gratitude that he can never repay. Of course, what his father did for him is incredible. I can never thank him enough for that. He says, "Of course, many fathers go beyond their capabilities for their children, but if I had worked so hard, I could have mentioned all he did." When asked about his father's role in his accomplishment, Musk stated these. Max Verstappen's success owes a great deal to Jos Verstappen, and as always, he will stick to his side of the road until the end. Helmut Marko, the CEO of Red Bull, welcomed his early involvement, saying, "You have to witness that from the beginning." Jos, his father, was a Formula One champion. He instilled all of his expertise in his kid, ensuring that he did not make any mistakes. However, Helmut also stated that Red Bull's relationship with the Verstappen family was not always smooth and pleasant, and that Jos's dedication to his son's profession was beneficial to him and his success. However, there were moments when he used to do something excessive. Jos appeared to cross the line on a few occasions, and Red Bull had to warn Jos that he was being silly, and that he needed to take a step back in 2016. This happened in 2016, while Max was competing for Red Bull's sister team Toro Rosso alongside his colleague Carlos Sainz. Graham Watson, Toro Rosso's then manager, stated that while both Max and Sainz had excellent rookie seasons and were quite competitive, their fathers were even more competitive than them and caused more problems for the team than the two sons. To be honest, Watson didn't see it that way, even though both were quite motivated and the fathers were far more so. In an interview with motorsport.com, Graham Watson went on to say that he knew Sainz Sr. from his running days. He and Jos had an excellent friendship. However, both fathers were too protective of their boys and were always checking to see whether their son was being treated unfairly by the team. They were always on the lookout to see whether their son's teammates had any preferential treatment, privileges or preferences, and the team assured them that both the boys were treated equally. Watson also claimed that Jos used to feel disadvantaged in his career and that he believed he was being treated unfairly at Benetton Formula. Max didn't want it to happen, and he had a burning desire to defeat his teammate. He truly embodies the mentality. Max had declared in an interview that he would not allow himself to be created around his teammate. He would rather have a team developed around him. You can obviously see Jos's hand in that approach, and he also remembers how dedicated Jos was to Max's career, and how he always made sure that his son was not treated like he was at Benetton. He also mentioned how Jos would express his feelings to everyone if he thought the team could do things differently for his son's benefit, and how he would occasionally try to take matters into his own hands. He was also used to having complete control over Max's career since his karting days. When Max first came to them, according to Graham Watson, the team looked very different than it does now. Jos may have questioned whether the team was up to the task of assisting his son in Formula 1. Watson noticed this, especially because Jos used to tap him on the shoulder every day and ask, "What about this? How do you feel about that?" etc. Watson had to be a little blunt and speak harshly at one point to allow the team members to do their work. Despite all of this, Max Verstappen remained completely focused on one thing, his driving, and he continued to drive wonderfully in Hungary in 2015, finishing in an astonishing 4th place. Red Bull was so taken with his performance that they promoted him to Red Bull Racing, swapping him in with Daniil Kvyat, a little under 4 races into the 2016 season to make him the youngest champion ever. Based on his experiences at Toro Rosso, Red Bull knew how crucial Jos Verstappen had been to Max's career, and how he could be frightening at times, seeking to take charge of various affairs and ensuring his son got all he needed to succeed. As a result, when Max joined Red Bull, they advised Verstappen Sr. to relax and take a back seat, allowing the team to grow his son and eventually make him the champion, which Jos did. Watson stated that it was swiftly made clear to Jos that he would no longer be able to have such a significant role in his son's career. He had no choice but to take a step back. When Max arrived at Red Bull, they informed Jos that he needed to take a step back. Watson told Jos that he didn't have children, but he could imagine how tough it was for him to let go of his son. Jos Verstappen may not have been at ease at the time, as he had been at his son's side during the journey, providing him with support and competence. Jos may have had his reservations, but he will not feel remorseful today, since Red Bull has once again proven that they are among the best when it comes to fostering raw talent and turning it into potential greats. Jos Verstappen's methods may have been strict and harsh with his son, but they have helped grow him into the aggressive and incredible driver he is today. He is unafraid of anyone and is willing to take risks to achieve his goal of being the finest of the best. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to have new informative videos. Until then, have a wonderful day and thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.